Thanks for choosing us. Now, the Bank of Ghana has justified the significant hike in the policy rates. It follows criticism of its decision to increase its key lending rates to commercial banks to 29.5%. Director of Research at the Bank of Ghana, Philip Abrodu-Otu, insists the current inflation levels warrant some tough measures to control the situation.
Although inflation has decelerated marginally on 2 consecutive times, the level is still very high. The committee took that decision to move it to 29.5 to lock in the deceleration that has started. Looking ahead to the end of the year, we expect inflation to be around 29. We've set the policy rate at 29.5. And I think this move, which we did, was to set the monetary policy stance right by moving it to 29.5, which is where we expect inflation to be in about 11 months, 12 months from now.
Some would say that is quite high. With all the things that was done, why are we still not feeling the impact on inflation trending down faster than we thought? Can we say that then maybe the monetary has hit ceiling, and now the monetary, as in the inflation rate
of what?
Of current now, even end of year 20 something, is still high, and maybe the monetary measures is done. Fiscal has to do its part.
Well, but George, if you have your inflation moving from 53 to 29 in 1 year, I think it's a steep drop. Yes. As the governor indicated in his explanations, the monetary policy will be working with the fiscal policy measures to try to get inflation down. He talked about signing the memorandum of understanding on zero financing, and that
some clarity on that.
And that is also an inflation control measure. Okay,
what have you got in terms of the Bank of Ghana and the Ministry of Finance? Is it just left with their pending the signatures?
No, it's just left with the pending of signatures. The statement rightly did indicate that we've worked with the Ministry of Finance to set that document in place. The 2 parties will just need to sign. So we need to move on the MOU, and then we need to move on the revenue measures which he spoke about.
Some would say that it could come with some real shocks for the economy in terms of a zero financing. In the past program, they looked at up to 5%. Has the Bank of Ghana thought through, whilst that may look good for the inflation numbers, there's also the real shocks of this to the monetary side of the economic side or the fiscal side of the economy? Well,
so if you look at the budget is setting a lot of revenue measures, and that is why, again, the governor did indicate in his statement that we need to get the revenue measures passed to take away that burden away from the central bank. And when those revenue measures are passed into law and government begins to get in all those revenues that it needs, there will be no need to resort to central bank financing. So these are the reasons why.
Away from that, the total value of mobile money transactions in the first 2 months of 2023 hit 264.1 billion cedis, about 72.6% growth year on year. The significant growth shows that mobile money transactions are hitting high records despite the electronic transactions levy. In the first 2 months of 2022, total mobile money transactions stood at 153 billion. Country coordinator of CATS International, Kusi Apia Dumako, has been sharing his perspective on this development.
This is expected to happen. If you look at the last year budget, government decided to reduce the tariffs from 1.5 to 1%. And whenever tax rate goes down, there is a proportional increase in consumption of those goods or services. And so even should government even bring the e-levy down to, let's say, 0.5, a lot of people who are not comfortable with the 1% will still want to do the e-levy. So I think this is expected, and I think that people are getting used to it, and I'm happy that government is making a lot of revenue from e-levy, and people have kind of understood the need to use electronic services for money transaction. Look at its revenue forecast and see that if the reduction has brought a lot of tariffs, they can still decide to bring it down further again, let's say to 0.075. At that level, you see that a lot of Ghanaians who went off grid from sending Momo would want to use it to send Momo because now they find it to be cheaper now than in the past.
Work has started on the Ghana ICT Hub, expected to develop the capacity of startups and help create more job opportunities for the youth. According to the Minister of Communication and Digitalization, Esla Usu-Ekufo, the hub will also provide SMEs with the opportunity to leverage technology and contribute towards economic growth. She was speaking at the virtual sword-cutting ceremony for the construction of the Ghana ICT Hub.
MTN Ghana, in collaboration with government, has cut the sword for the construction of a Ghana ICT hub. The facility will cover a 4,000 square meter space and is expected to equip over 2,000 youth with digital and technological skills to drive economic development. Speaking at the sword-cutting ceremony, Minister of Communications and Digitalization, Esla Owusu-Ekufo, said the hub will enhance the capacity of SMEs in the country to create more jobs.
We know the benefits that we can derive from it. It will create jobs, it will help us to deal with unemployment, it will enable our young people to acquire the necessary digital skills that they need, it will grow more startups in this space, and even the startups can be incubated and grown into larger companies that we're referring to as unicorns that will also employ others and generate multi-million-dollar businesses for us in this country. The whole world is going digital. With the right environment and space and opportunities provided for those who are willing to learn, the sky is the limit. And I do know that if we deliberately focus on this space, we can encourage and nurture more potential that we have in this area. We keep talking about the potential we have. We need to move beyond rhetoric and actually put in place the systems and structures that will enable us to generate activate that potential that already exists.
CEO of MTN Ghana, Seloma Dadivo, added that the hub will play an important role in developing and equipping the youth with the needed skills for the development of the space.
So our expectation is that the hub will be a place where entrepreneurs and as well as the youth can come and do a number of things. The first one is ICT skills training, and we're seeking to have a center that can support in-person ICT skills development. We see this as a gap amongst the youth and an important area for our competitiveness as a country going into the future. The second one is we also have a remote facility that allows people that are not in Accra to also gain skills through remote learning and other types of institutions. And this is important to us because we don't want to limit the scope of the project only to the geography in which it's actually located. The third one is the support for entrepreneurs, where we will have centers that can incubate new ideas and new innovations, where we expect to see small startups growing their business ideas into something more viable through the support that we'll provide as part of the ICT Hub. But this will be focused on ICT ideas and innovations, and we're hoping that this will generate in the range of about 100,000 jobs in the first 3 years of the hub going live.
MTN Ghana is committing an amount of $25 million for the construction of the Ghana ICT Hub.
Now, Ghanaian businesses are gearing up to deepen relationship with South African businesses through the collaboration under the African Continental Free Trade Area. Chief Executive of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Eyim Dake, says the operationalization of AFTA is critical in harmonizing economic blocks and ensuring the promotion of intra-Africa trade. Here's more in the following report.
Brand South Africa, in partnership with MTN, organized a business roundtable and dialogue session. The session focused on overcoming market entry and legislative challenges in the wake of the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Speaking at the event, Chief Executive of Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Nyimdake, indicated that the engagement is critical in boosting trade relations between the two countries.
Still very critical. I mean, it gives us the opportunity to harmonize policy, to reduce tariffs. The various economic blocks, SADC, ECOWAS, economic bloc will be harmonized, and then we'll deepen the intent of and the objective of AFTA so that we can trade together. We can deploy our regional economic bloc value chain policies that will aid Ghana and South Africa. What can we do together to conquer Africa and do the intra-trade as the mandate and agenda of AFTA is. It can only get better the more we engage. There'll be a few bottlenecks, but in every big vision, there are processes that you got to perfect each stage. And I think we're on course. It could be slow, but it's a matter of time. We'll get there.
General Manager for Communications at Brand South Africa, Thoko Modesi, said the Business Roundtable and Dialogue session is part of efforts by South Africa to better understand the rest of the continent and help in positioning it on the international market.
One of the things we know we are good at is the fact that we represent the continent on various platforms that other countries may not be. For example, we are a member of BRICS, we're the only African member of the G20. So ours is to carry the voice and the luggage and the people of the continent forward with us, so that if we're going to thrive, we must all thrive as Africans. It can't be that it's about South Africa and South Africa only. And a lot of the multinationals that are established in South Africa, I mean, for example, there's over 800 American companies based in South Africa. A lot of the times they start in South Africa, establish head offices there, then they expand into the continent, which is exactly what we are trying to do. We need to be that space that allows for development and thriving in the continent.
We take a look at some other stories now. In Fast Forward Investment Ghana Limited has promised to continue to provide jobs for Ghanaian youth. According to its Chief Executive Officer, John Onyeguzoro, his outfit will engage more Ghanaians to support economic growth through provision of quality goods such as shoes and bags. Speaking to Joy Business at the first anniversary of the Clark's store in Accra at the Accra Mall, he revealed that the company will position itself to invest in other sectors of the economy.
It's massive. It's massive, and as you know, our market is an aspirational market. It's becoming quite sophisticated, and for all aspirational market, we look forward, to having brands that are global driven. And that's exactly what's happening in Ghana. Very frank with you, it's about positioning, and what we've done in the last couple of years. I mean, we've been in this market now for close to 20 years, is to continue to go with the tide and to see what we can do to add value to the local economy. As you can see, the more of these stores that you have, the more you've got jobs for young Ghanaians who are ready to test waters and to grow their career. And that's what we're trying to do here. When you bring in things like this, it also helps the economy to grow. So for us, that's the objective, to add value to the local economy, to help more Ghanaians get jobs, as far as the fashion, environment is concerned. And that's what Clark's is all about, to provide that opportunity for the young ones. In terms of competitiveness, again, it has to do with, like I said, what you want. For us, it's key that we're in that global state where you can probably say, oh, I went to Europe and I saw a brand like this, and then you come down to Ghana, the same brand you can shop on Oxford Street, somewhere in Paris, somewhere in the United States. You can shop for the same brand, same quality. For me, it's the best thing that can happen to our environment. So back to competitiveness, it's about positioning, and what we're trying to do is to position the best brands here.
To the grace of the Almighty, I would like to declare this opening formally open.
Fashion designers are making efforts to grow the fashion industry for job creation, but their competitiveness is hindered by foreign influences on the fashion-conscious youth. Lava Firm's Mona Lisa Frimpong explores the influence of foreign fashion on the youth and the impact on local fashion designers.
Clothing styles and mode of dressing in Ghana in the early 17th were devoid of Western influences. But the arrival of the Europeans gradually influenced clothing tastes and styles. Dr. Cynthia Ekuyachichi at the Department of Industrial Art, Fashion and Textile Section, KNUST, tells how European influence invaded every activity in Ghana.
We call them African prints, but they did not originate from Africa. They were brought from somewhere by merchants. So they came in, introduced the fabrics to us. Because they were vibrant colors, we loved them, we accepted them to become our own. And the women who were the mediators, they gave them names that will resonate with us, and then we were buying them.
The foreign influence may have robbed the nation of its unique qualities that define the identity as a people. Post and pre-independence, the Ghanaian clothing style has become an adaptation of Western fashion trends.
Now you will see somebody with a bustier. Those bustiers are old people. They were just wrapping the fabric, and that is the ideas these things came from. So we've always known how to cover ourselves. We've always been fashionable people. But you see, sometimes we've been indoctrinated not to accept what we have. When it comes from the West, we think that is the best thing ever.
In 2012, Ghana could not pride itself on a vibrant fashion industry. This was due to poor finishing and non-conformity to standards and trends. Fashion designers like Senanu Alomenu have had their share of challenges but remain consistent to deliver designs seen on runways and fashion events.
A lot of people have started patronizing more or less like some years ago when they didn't like it. But now, because of the ideas that we've come up with, a lot of people have interest in what we do now.
Local designers are steadily bringing a flair of varied designs to the fashion industry. This is because African prints are being showcased around the world.
Our styles has both the foreign touch of fabrics and then locally made fabrics. So we have styles we call denim Afrique. That is combined with the Western fabrics and then the locally made fabrics from, example, GTP, ATL, and the other ones.
While Ghana's fashion industry is gaining international recognition, there are more imports of clothing than what is exported. Research by the International Journal of Research and Innovation shows about 60% of Ghanaians wear imported second-hand clothing from Europe and the United States. Nana, a second-hand clothes seller at Asia, says her clothing business is lucrative as her target market has been swayed by foreign influences.
So, and now we're idea, when she can 100 cities. I've told to maybe I say roughly 80 cities. I've put maybe 100 cities, and I'm saying 180. So 180, no big at 20 cities, and also at 50 cities. No to me, James Barco, no yana top Barqua. Osha, the Aina Cadipacolo Bechusu.
Some respondents say they would prefer buying second-hand clothing to African print.
I like foreign clothes because they come cheaper. They come in cheaper.
It is a man pam or my move at the end of the and I'm 2 point something. Mikokuma, James, 90 cities, Menya top 60 cities, let matter there 4.
Aside the revenue it could generate, having a well-established fashion industry could have ripple effects that could even address the issue of graduate unemployment in the country.
To carve a Ghanaian look, fashion designers have been entreated to come up with creative designs to reflect the diverse culture of the Ghanaian population.
There are designers who are able to identify based on who you are, what you want to present to the world. They can get you nice fabrics that will resonate with your persona and then make them for you.
Fashion designers are coming up with more creative ideas. Much more people are really getting interested in what we do now.
Mona Lisa Frimpong reporting.
Now, the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association has charged members to endeavor to deliver quality homes to prospective clients. This is to ensure clients are able to get value for money as they make such decisions. Vice President of GRIDA, Cynthia Oponi, was speaking as a special guest at the launch of The Seven, a project by Elerano Projects and Consult at Tema Community 25.
The Seven project seeks to maximize space by building 7 modern vertical homes in a gated court with landscaping to support green building practices, having the clients in mind. The project offers 2 options to buyers in the form of Mirth and Verve. Mirth is a 3-bedroom home expandable to 4 and comes with a terraced roof, pergola, fully fitted kitchen cabinet, and wardrobes in all bedrooms. This option features a mini football set, which is provided as a complimentary gift. The other type, Verve, has similar features to Mirth, in addition to a penthouse provision, an elevator, a sky bar, and a rooftop pool. This type also has a mini football and gym equipment provided as complimentary gifts. Vice President of Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, GRIDA, Cynthia Oponi, has asked Elerano Projects to ensure quality homes are delivered at the end of the day.
So for GRIDA, we are here because we want to lend our support to our fellow members, especially if somebody is willing to invest their time to construct now in these turbulent times. So we are here to applaud and encourage Elerano Projects and Consult to say that do go ahead because you're going to reap the benefits of your hard work. We're here to encourage you to use your expertise, both marketing and building technology, to see how you can deliver quality housing that will serve as an icon along the coasts of this country. And it's going to be a beacon to others. It's going to provide a template that others are going to emulate in the delivering of housing units.
Council member of GRIDA, Salah Kalmoni, touches on maximizing of space as cost of land rises.
And the 7 is not only a special number spiritually, physically, and morally. We hope that this project moves very well. And we are very surprised that the buildings, even though they are very big and comfortable for families, you can have 3 to 5 bedroom, but the most important thing is the efficiency. The efficiency of this project is fantastic. In terms of bedrooms, every bedroom is a master bedroom, washrooms, and in here it's amazing. You can put 7 houses in 2 plots. And we need more of these things in Ghana, because as land prices becomes very expensive, we need to have more efficiency. And I'm happy the architect was much able to do this.
Meanwhile, Managing Director of Elerano Projects and Consult, Reverend Elvin Lakai, believes partnership is an important piece that is missing in the real estate space.
What we've launched today is also the consortium model, which I'll call the real estate hub, where we have currently Elerano has reduced staff from over 40 people, we dropped to 15, and now we're only 3 staff members. What do? We only facilitate real estate specialists, real estate consultants and professionals. That's all we do. So the designs were done by someone, the marketing is being done by someone, and that's the whole idea. So the way forward now, I think in the real estate sector, is partnerships, because we all have something we can offer. Somebody has a plot of land but doesn't have the money. Somebody has the money but doesn't have the capacity. Somebody has the capacity, the money, but doesn't know how to get the clients. Somebody may even have all of this, is building but cannot even sell. So the partnership arrangement is what we are talking about, and we believe that as we do it together, we would all be able to benefit from the manifold blessings of real estate and profits.
For the brains behind the name, 7 represents perfection. First National Bank Ghana and Deloitte were present to lend their support. And that's all for business tonight. For more business news, you can log on
to myjoyonline.com/business. I am Beverly Broohm. Razak Musbao is next with sports. Please stay.